All right, guys, I'm here to answer the age-old question of are courses a scam? And this is coming from me, a $30,000 a month business owner. If you don't believe me, here's a screenshot right here. I know, it says 26,700, kill me, shoot me, all right? I actually signed multiple clients since then, so I am above 30K. This is an old screenshot if you're gonna fuck me in the ass in the comments, but whatever. Point be known, I'm credible. And before I start, let me tell my first story about buying my very first course. Now, before I bought my first course, here's what I was doing. I was delivering pizza and doing one-off gigs with my video stuff, whether that be real estate. I think in this one I was filming a boxing gym. I was filming a mall here, doing one-off gigs, making maximum $1,000 a month. I threw in this picture just because this is what I was doing at the time. Fucking shaving my Hitler mustache, like fucking around, whatever. I mean, all business now, but $1,000 a month maximum. And the first time I ever learned about a course was when I had gotten invited to be a second shooter on a gig in New York, a jazz center in New York. And it was actually a close friend of mine, not really close friend, but a buddy of mine invited me to tag along with him. And this buddy of mine, his name is Ryan. He actually was at the time doing it full time. He was making $100,000 plus a year from what he told me. And he was pricing his stuff correctly. He was getting jobs. He was doing it full time. And I was more excited about spending that car ride with him to go to New York from Connecticut, that 2-hour car ride, than I was about the $500 he was paying me, which was a lot at the time. But I was like, let me pick this guy's brain. And I asked him in the car, I said, hey man, where did you learn to do all of this? Where did you learn to price yourself? Because at the time, my biggest bottleneck was I just wasn't charging correctly. I didn't know what to charge. And there's not a lot of guidance with what you should actually charge for video. And he told me about this course. And I'm just going to be completely straightforward. The course was called Master Filmmaker. And Master Filmmaker is a course designed for videographers to switch from a gig, one-off project loop of death, doing project after project, to a retainer model. And they teach you how to do that. And instantly I was intrigued. Like I remember getting home from that gig and I binge watched all the Master Filmmaker stuff on YouTube. I'm talking hours and hours because I was so interested in how it worked and I was sold. But before I had the sales call, I needed to make sure that I was making a wise decision because Ryan had told me it was $15,000, which I thought was crazy at the time. I was like, $15,000, holy shit. But obviously I'm not a retard. So I was like, clearly Ryan made his shit back. And I felt like I was a better videographer than him at the time too. So I was like, I'll definitely make my money back. So lo and behold, I had the sales call. I ended up doing 3 months for $9K and I financed it. And it was a scary purchase. I'm not gonna lie. I was on the sales call with the guy and I started to get cold feet because their salesman was kind of very salesy salesman. And I'd watched all their content before. So I also had learned all their sales tactics. And it was weird because like I'm in the sales call and he's like using all the sales tactics that I just watched their video on to me, which made me feel like, it made me get like anxiety, like buyer's anxiety. And so I ended up purchasing the course, joined the course. The second I joined the course, I binged all of their materials. I learned about ads, which I had never learned about before. I learned about the CRM that everyone uses. I learned all of this stuff. It was brand new to me. Came from being a videographer. And I learned, about retainer models. And just that alone, pricing would have made it worth it. Okay, sorry. I meant to skip to this slide. Did I learn from the course? Yes, absolutely. Everything that I just mentioned was very, very important. Would I be where I'm at today if I didn't have that? If I didn't join that course, spend that $15,000? Definitely not. And even if I just learned how to price my videos correctly, which they taught me in the course, would it have been worth it? Let's define what is worth it. I believe it's worth it if any knowledge from there helps you get to an amount of money that pays off the course. The course was $15K. I'm making $30K a month now. And they helped me get there. So with that in mind, was it worth it? Absolutely. So that's my experience with the course. I would say the course that I took, Master Filmmaker, was actually the pivotal point in my life. And it's what changed everything, because months later was when I ran my first ads. They helped me with that. Was when I was able to quit doing one-off gigs, quit pizza, and start making real big boy money. Now, what is the difference between a good course and a bad course? And I'm going to give you an example I actually got from one of my buddies of mine. So a few weeks ago, one of my buddies came over after the bar. We had been drinking. We were drunk. We're actually standing in my living room, passing back and forth a bottle of Jack, sipping on it. And I asked him, like, hey man, how's your drop shipping thing going? Because he had done all of this stuff, like this course with drop shipping, and he was learning how to drop ship, and he had a nice website. And he told me that he wasn't doing that anymore. And he was actually looking to get into high ticket sales. And I thought that was interesting. And he had told me he had a call with a course for, I think it was $3K a month. He had a call with them about high ticket sales and learning from them. And I was like, that's great. Because I had told him before, like, join a course. Courses are great. I learned a lot from my course. And I was like, bro, before you join this course, send it to me. I just want to audit it. And I'm going to expose these people right now. Because it wasn't a very good course. I'm going to show you why. He sent me this course right here. And it's called Dumber Academy. And off rip, once he sent me this link, I was clicking around and I was like, holy red flags, guys. Like, their first post was February 11th. They have 124 followers. They have a couple testimonials, but most of them are like, none of them are mind-boggling. Like, most of them are less than 10K a month. And at the same time, when I clicked on their landing page, the kid was like 16, 17 years old, which I'm not going to knock anyone for being young, but like, I'm not taking advice from a 17-year-old. They don't have enough credibility. They don't have enough history for me to really buy what they're saying. Plus, I shouldn't be able to click through the testimonials like this, but regardless, major red flag. Now, I responded to him and I was just curious. I was like, what made you want to join this course? And he told me the reason he wanted to join was because they had a money back guarantee. And I was like, money back guarantee? Dude, what a stupid way to pick out a course, right? I always prided myself on taking risk, and buying a course and getting stuff out of it is a risk. And doing an entire course and paying that money for a money back guarantee, it's not only stupid, it doesn't just show your lack of commitment, but it also is a very obvious scam. There's so much fine print in these contracts with these courses that actually don't allow you to get the money back guarantee. There's actually steps you have to do. And it's very hard to get your money back with this. It's a very common loophole, gray area, saying if you're not satisfied, you can get your money back. But it's just not the case. Because there are fine prints, you do have to read the contract, and it's just not a good reason to buy a course. Not only that, but it was DM setting. I was like, bro, DM setting you can't make that much money with. Like, why not just do high ticket sales? Like, I had never heard of DM setting before. Stupid. But regardless, this is an example of a not very good course. So what did I do? I sent him this guy. Now, I was watching Brian Chow for the longest time. He's, if you don't know Brian Chow, he's actually Jeremy Miner's #2 sales rep, or #1 or #2 sales rep. And he had been making content for a long time, and I've been watching his stuff for a long time. And throughout watching his stuff, like, you can tell the dude knows what he's doing. So even before I knew about Brian Chow's course, I was soaking up information from him. And he has 345 videos on YouTube for you to make your decision of, is this guy someone I would buy a course from? Not only that, but on his Instagram, he had probably 100+ testimonials. Like, if you click through on his testimonial highlight, it's just like nonstop testimonials. That's what you need to see with the course. You need to see crazy amount of testimonials. You need to watch through their YouTube, do your due diligence, do yourself a service, and ask yourself, is this someone that I want to take advice from? Are they credible? Do they have enough testimonials? Do your research on the testimonials. Look up these people, these businesses, and see if they're actually successful. These are all things that I did with my course. Don't just buy the first course that you see. See, when people say courses are a scam, it's because they buy courses like this from people that aren't credible, for ideas that aren't good, because they see all of these big numbers here, 10K, whatever. They get blinded by the numbers and they don't look at the root of things. They don't look at the person and say, did this person actually do it? Use your best judgment. So that's a good course versus a bad course. Now, here's another question you need to ask yourself. And this was the question I asked my boy when he sent me that Instagram, was, are you a giant vagina? Like, you're so scared to spend money that you're looking at a shitty course that has a guarantee. Like, you're scared to buy the course because of what? Because you look at the course as a cost and not an investment. It's not rocket science, guys. You spend money to make money. It's just like going to school. You spend $60,000 on a degree because you're going to make more money out of the degree. And I mean, I know that's controversial or whatever, but that's the essence and the idea of college. It's the same with buying a course. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself, even if you get nothing out of the course, which I've joined a few courses now. I always get at least something out of a course, whether that be even like meeting people in a community. Even if you get nothing out of it, at least it'll light a fire under your ass of like, now I'm committed to doing SMMA. I put $18,000 in a course. Now I'm committed. Now I'm actually going to do it. I know a lot of this information is online, and you could find it if you really look for it. But since it's free, are you going to really be that committed to it? Ask yourself this. If I paid $18,000 for the information, how much more committed would I be to learning? How much more committed would I be to the grind? I think that's a valid question, because you could find everything on YouTube for free, but you're not committed to it. There's no financial incentive, and it's not organized. I think if you want to make money and you want to do good, you have to be willing to invest in yourself and not be a giant vagina. That's what I see separates the winners from the losers. See, my friend had a loser mindset. Like, he wanted to invest in himself, but he didn't want to commit. Whereas I had a winner mindset. And I was like, 15K. If this is a lot of money to me, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, then I did something seriously wrong in my life. You need to adapt this mindset of 15K. That's nothing. That is nothing compared to what I want to make. And this is going to help me get there. So is it really a lot of money? I don't think it is. I don't think it's a lot of money. So I'm going to wrap this up here and say, our course is a scam? I don't believe so. I know a lot of successful SMMA people that did a course. And I'm not sponsored by any course. The ones that I was talking about, not sponsored by them. I don't even have a course. But so far, everyone says courses are a scam. I'm waiting to see a scam. Even if the course is ass, bro, you get a community. There's people in a community that you can learn from. I met my business partner in a school community, a course that I paid for, $100 a month. And he's helped me grow my business like fucking crazy. So if you make one relationship out of an $18,000 course that helps you, then it's worth it. And where else can you get that from? I mean, people spend money at universities. They spend crazy money there and they get nothing out of it. They don't even try. And those are the same people, these people going to fucking college, these fucking losers, that are the ones that are making fun of online gurus, online courses. And they went to college. How fucking ass backwards is that? So you need to invest in yourself. Whether that be a course, whether that be books, whether that be seminar or whatever. I think you need to get skin in the game. If you really want to make money, you need to spend money and commit to yourself. Prove to yourself and to others that you're willing to commit financially to grow. And that's why courses are worth it. So shoot me if you think I'm wrong. Subscribe and like the video so I can keep making these. I'm making these for free. This is free game, guys. I don't have a course. I don't have anything. Least you can do, least I'm asking you to do, if you made this far, is subscribe and hit the like button. And stay tuned for more.